Beautiful people, more life, more blessings. You know the vibes, man. I know this looks a little different than how things normally look when we shoot our episodes, but it's still doing for the love. You know the vibes we in the building. So this is our first virtual episode. You know me, Eric Buddy Davis, co-host in the building.
Spitfire.
And you know the vibes, man. We're feeling good, feeling great, feeling good, and we hope you are too. So, as we said, we're doing things a little different tonight. You see our special guest at the bottom. We're going to give her the proper introduction. So, you go ahead and do that before we go into the topic.
So tonight's guest, I had the pleasure of meeting a few years ago in Atlanta at a sex trafficking exhibit, and it was mind blowing. And I was so blown away by her story. I'm so honored to have her on the show tonight. We have an inspiring motivational speaker. She's a co-founder, a real estate investor, and the founder of Unleashed to Speak. Welcome, Shametria Gonzalez. Thank you for coming on the show tonight. Do it
Thank
for
you
the
guys
love.
for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's a pleasure. When Sel told me that you were willing to come on while you were in town, and we couldn't really get the studio thing popping, so I said, "Yo, we can't let this go, and not
Not at
like
all.
take advantage of this." And told me the
Yes.
story, and I was like, "Let's do it. Let's get it going." So, thank you for being here tonight.
You're welcome.
All right, so the way we normally do things is we get into our topic. A matter of
All
fact,
right.
I didn't say this, so I'm gonna go into it. We normally check each other's temperature first. So
All
first,
right.
since ladies are in the room, Shamitra, how are you doing today? How you feeling? What's that temperature like?
Today my word was increase. So I feel like increase is here. I feel very grateful. And I'm just excited to be on this show with you guys. I wish I could have saw y'all in person.
Right.
But this, where there's a will, there's a way. So I feel like you guys, I'm honored to be your first guest on virtual. So that right there is increase because now you're spreading your capacity to be able to get to more people.
For sure.
Thank you so much.
And
Now, what's that temperature like, Brody?
my temperature good. It's lit. As you all know, if you following me, I'm working on a dope mural right now in Virginia, and it's almost done. I got one more day to go, so I'm super excited about that. And for all of our viewers, even though this episode is virtual, Shametria is in the DMV in Baltimore. We just couldn't get the studio time today, and she's gonna be taking flight soon. So we were like, look, let's get this done. Plus, we
Yeah.
know it's a lot of people that's watching that from out of state, like she said, that want to get on the episode. So now you get to see how it goes down. So I'm lit,
Yeah.
buddy. How's your temperature, Brody?
Man, I feel good, Brody, man. Did another good thing on Tuesday, another episode of All Things Autism.
Okay.
The month is coming to an end, so we got one more episode coming next week. Everything is beautiful, bro. I can't complain about where things are in my personal life. Things are pretty good. It's looking up, and I like that word, so I'm gonna take that and run with it. I'm just increasing, you know. I'm increasing my mentality. I'm increasing my bandwidth. I'm increasing my patience. I'm increasing everything. So, you know the vibes, man. We here.
I
So,
like
Yes.
let's get into it. Tonight's episode is For the Love of Survival. Now, for everybody that's been watching and listening to us, we like to give you the basic definition of the word, and then we get into what that word means to us. So, I'll give you a few definitions of the word survival. An object or practice that has continued to exist from an earlier time. Another definition, the state or fact of continuing to live or exist, typically in spite of an accident, ordeal, or difficult circumstance. And the last one I'll get into is to thrive, to flourish, or to prosper, or to grow vigorously. To survive means to simply live or continue to exist in spite of an ordeal. It's similar to the last one I did, but a few little
Yes.
key words in there that I wanted to say. So, before I get into how I feel about survival, so how do you feel about For the Love of Survival?
survival. The first thing I think of is Mobb Deep, Survival of the Fittest. And that's the soundtrack for the night. You know what I mean?
Right.
And survival is a real deep and profound word because, only the strong survive through tough tribulations, and survival really show and proves who a person is. We all go through survival in different mechanisms and different forms at some point. But the wild thing about being in survival is you always get thrown into it when you least expect it. You can never predict when you have to get in survival mode. So I just think about a lot of people who've been through things, and the strong ones that conquered through and changed their life around and just be better than they was yesterday. That's all a part of survival to me.
Absolutely. Shametria, I know you have a lot to say about it, but I'll ask you to pinpoint like what that word means to you more so than experience first. We would love to hear that.
Yeah, survival to me is it's a principle that I live by, and it's fight, flight, or freeze. If you're thinking of it from a victim survivor standpoint, it's a space of, whenever something happens to me, there's only three things that you can do. You can either go into fight, flight, or freeze. And for me, I used to be a freezer, and so now I am conscious of all three, and I realize that each one has their own time it needs to show up, and their own way of how it needs to be a part of our ecosystem when it comes to surviving. Sometimes you need to fight, sometimes you need to flight, sometimes you need to freeze, and just so to me, I want to conquer that word. So to conquer it, I have to first understand it. So when I break it down, to me, it comes to those three emotions and being able to figure out when to use which one versus being afraid of them.
Got you. Very well said. Very well said. Yes. So my intro is kind of similar to Sel's. When I think of survival, the first thing I think of is the first reality TV show, Survival. That's literally the first thing I thought of when I was writing the episode today. And then the second thing I thought of was Destiny's Child song. And then when I got deeper into it, it really led me to thinking of unfortunate situations and thinking of stories that come from people who didn't allow that situation to end them. Yeah. I think of great women, and I'll speak on someone like Sel knows. You don't know this woman. She's an older Caucasian lady. Her name's Miss Laura Morris. Survived a marriage where her husband shot her.
Oh, wow.
And now she goes on tours all over the world, talking about that story and surviving gun violence. And so to me, I just think about all the courageous women, men, people that went through, people from other countries that go through hard times. I think about all the different masses that are controlled by other people. And like you said, is it flight, fight, or freeze?
Right, yeah, fight,
like that. So, it's pretty much like that mentality. And I always think, I think Sel probably heard me say this before, I live life with like a life or death type of mentality.
Yeah.
Because I'm always positive, I'm always optimistic, and I'm always trying to get people to see the light in something, because the world is dark. The world is consistently dark. So to me, this is a special virtual episode. Got Zoe in the building. It's gonna be great. This is gonna be great. Zoe's a shooter. But that's pretty much my take on survival. So anything else you would like to add to survival?
Nah, I think that I just can't wait to get into this episode so we can really hear what a true survivor is and what it means to be a survivor.
Gotcha. So, like I said, this is our virtual episode, and we're going to do things a little different tonight. So, we're going to go right into our Love to Not Love segment. So, for all of our audio listeners and visual listeners, this is when we poke fun at things we don't prefer like that. So, we don't say H-A-T-E on this show. It's all about the love, So, I'll kick it off tonight. And my first Love to Not Love is people who haven't found a way to be empathetic. And what I mean is, if you don't have that capacity for, but don't be the opposite of be cool and mean to people, then turn around and want people to care when something tragic happens to you. Find that love and understanding in your heart. So I get everybody grieves and deals with things and different processes. People need to get jokes later. But at the same time, don't try to dim the light or kill the whole room because it might have went over your head. So, and that's not even empathy for real, but what I'm pretty much talking about is people understanding that everybody's healing and dealing with something different. And I just don't like when people don't get people. So, I love to not love. So, up to you, buddy.
My first love to not love tonight is this new generation of rap beef. Because I really do love it, and then I love to not love it. It's like I got excited for it at first when I heard Kendrick drop his bars. And of course, I got excited when I heard Cole drop his response. It started off with the apology, and now it's just been a snowball roll of people jumping in, making different comments, and your man, he's making his way back into Love to Not Love again. Kanye, man. Kanye done jumped in the battle, and he just survived something that could have ended his career. Stick to being a survivor before you put yourself in another position that might take income from your brand Yeezy or something, you know, because Kanye got away with words and being real bold with it. So, but back to my point, this new generation rap beef, man, it's different. The social media world controls it, and I see more beef in the comments than beef between the rappers. So it's something to get used to, man.
Yeah, it's definitely weird. Tupac family sued Drake. He had to pull that down today. So the AI this is gone that everybody loved and hate, loved and hate, but it has been pulled down. So you know, Shametria, we normally don't have a guest on during our Love to Not Love segment.
Yeah.
Is there something that you love to not love?
I would say I love to not love BBLs. I mean,
talk about it.
So,
tell us about it.
Honestly, you know, I'm a woman. I'm a country girl that was, you know, cornbread fed. I'm a the Popeyes. So, you know what I'm saying? This is natural for me. But I look at my body sometimes and I feel fat, or I feel like I'm a little thicker than what I'm used to, because I'm looking at so many fake bodies that my real seems to be disingenuous and looked upon as it's wrong. When after you've had 2 babies, you're supposed to have a little pooper. You're supposed to have a little love handlers, you know. So like for me, I love to see women with it. Okay, y'all do your thing, but I do not love the fact that it's making me look at myself different with my natural self.
Right.
Because it's now that I am the minority and not the majority, because the majority of women have $500 to get their beauty done, or $5,000 to get a full makeover. And then it also took the lives of, you know, of women that are very popular, and it, you know, RIP to Jackie O, but like, you know, these are real things that as much as I want one, I'm not going to get it, because I've seen, you know, anything that is chancing my life is not worth it to me. But they look good. They look good. Y'all look good.
Can we stay on this topic for a second? My thing about the one, I've seen some good ones and I've seen some bad ones.
Yeah.
And the bad ones that I've seen, I wonder what's going on in their consultation. Like when they picking the figure and like who is the doctor that's suggesting some of these BBLs with the ladies with the little legs? Like, it's just crazy, man. And I've seen some wild viral videos from it, so I definitely would have to second that. I love to not love BBL sometime.
Yeah, listen, that was I think you hit it off the park. That was a great love to not love, because you know why I got humor to it. It also got seriousness to it. It's like I said, like when is enough? Like you know. So that was pretty good. Thank you. So for our first, we good with one apiece. We good with that.
I ain't had no more tonight.
All right, bet. I did have another one, but we can keep it moving tonight. I'm gonna stay on par with the crew. So, being that you're already on and we've already welcomed you, so we go right into pretty much, you know, the who, what, when, where of you. How you, you know, how you hear these answers, how you hear these questions, how you want to answer them. Totally, the floor is yours. And I'm gonna let Sel kick it off tonight. So you can really kick off our question.
We like to kick it off very simple and plain, but we expecting, you know, it doesn't have to be long answer, whatever comes to your heart. Who is Shametria Gonzalez?
Shametria Gonzalez is a small town country girl who had a really big dream, and after everything is said and done, my character speaks for me very loud. You know, I am a woman that walks in the room, and by showing up, my energy does exactly what it needs to do. So my accolades are very far and wide, but if you ask me personally who I am, I'm funny, goofy, country, hood, and ghetto, as well as a little bit sophisticated and scholar. I'm a mix. But then in business, people know me for being a survivor of human trafficking, an advocate, for being a real estate investor and developer. We're developing 400 properties in Georgia. We break the ground May 18th. They're called EDUs, which are evolved dwelling units. And then on the opposite side of that, I'm a global speaker. So I've spoke in 3 different countries. I've spoke on huge stages, and I've also spoke to the person in the bathroom that I meet in the airport. You feel me? It's all the same to me, because I got the same, you know, intention. So I think that kind of sums up business and personal, but you know, ultimately still the same small town country girl.
Got you.
And you a mother, correct?
Yes. Oh, and
Can't,
mom.
yeah, can't forget
Definitely.
baby girl.
Can't forget the
Can't
babies.
forget a mom.
So very, very good. So you kind of answered one of my who's, so I'll hit you with another who. Who
Yes.
inspired you to say enough is enough and to take control of your life and get to the point where you're at today to inspire others? Was it a person or a moment?
It was a moment.
Okay.
And I was going as a client for Dress for Success Worldwide, and they took us on a boat. And basically, it's the largest not for profit for women in the world when it comes to empowerment. So I went there because I didn't have no clothes and like dressy clothes. I didn't know how to dress professionally. I come from a life of, you know, street life. And so when I graduated college and got my first job, my mentor called me in. She was like, "You have tights on. This is setting." She's like, "Why don't you reach out to Dress for Success? They have clothes for women like yourself that are business, oriented. I'll do a referral." So I went as a client, and they picked me to do a community action project out of like 100 other women around the world. They put us all on a private jet. I mean, on a private boat. We did an excursion, and there was a lady, and she was talking. This is what I knew being a speaker was for me, because she changed my heart. And it's hard to change somebody's heart, but she evoked the emotion. And she said a speech. She said, "You have to know how important you are. You're key and main. You're not tangential. You're key and mainstream and essential. I'm suggesting that on a scale of 1 to 10, and 10 is high, you're at least 850. Maximize your potential while juggling it all. It's a different game, boo." And she was talking to the crowd, but she was talking to me. So, like, I didn't know what tangential meant, but I knew I wasn't that. So, like,
Mhm.
'cause people want like this grandiosity story, but honestly, I still have her video from her saying that. And I think I was 22 years old. And from that point on, I just knew like I'm not tangential. I'm the one. And honestly, I won that project. So out of 100 women, my project won first place. So then I knew she was talking to me. So
Right.
that's my story.
Fire. Fire.
I don't even know her
That's
name.
say it again.
I don't even know her name. I just
Man,
know.
but you know her words though. It's all good. She
Yes.
spoke through you. That's all. At the end of the day, you know enough.
Yes.
Down, it's up to you, my guy.
So my next question is,
Yes.
before we get deep into the whole trafficking incident, who was Shametria before the trafficking?
Thank you for asking and caring. Wow, I've never been asked that question. That's so good. Before then, I was a tomboy. I was the strongest girl or boy in class. I was bench pressing like 185 and squatting 375 in the seventh grade.
Damn.
I was a mutant. Like I was in student council. I emancipated myself, at 15 years old to be legally grown. I was a very, very amazing, energetic, happy, just purely innocent child that grew a real poet, but I ain't know it. I was always happy. Other people told me I was poor. I didn't even know what that meant. I was always rich in my mind.
That's fire. That's real.
Yeah.
Man, so I love that about you. I love, and even in your intro, I'm about to just get off topic and give you props real quick because your energy is transparent. And now I really, really wish we was in person because, yeah, because I could just tell how genuine you are. Like you said, goofy but business minded. I did my own little research on your page and everything. So you big time, man. I'm loving this already. So I'll keep the ball rolling. What does it feel like to have a platform, a global platform that has reached over 100,000 people? Like, how does
Yeah.
that feel?
It feels like responsibility.
Hmm.
Responsibility of a speaker, responsibility of a mother, responsibility of a leader, responsibility of being diligent to people's feelings and thoughts and hearts. It ain't got nothing to do with no profit. People before profit, period. And they
Hmm.
got so many. I got a bone to pick with the speakers right now out there. All that click here, do this now. Everybody ain't supposed to be a speaker. I don't want to coach speakers. I love y'all. Unleash the Speak is only dealing with the top individuals in the game in order to be able to help them get reach, because I'm a multiplier. So I'm not here. I got my fee 25K. All I need is 4 students a year. That's 100K. I can give them more time. So it's like right now, the speaking industry, everybody doing click now, do this and all this baiting funnels and all that stuff. Man, y'all playing with people's lives. Some you make like they may not have money to give. If you don't, cool. I got book stuff on YouTube. I got assistants. I can call you. I can text you. I do I always got a 15-minute call for anybody who want to talk. But I'm focused on real estate because real estate funds me to give to my dream, which is speak to the hearts of people and give back. So I think speakers have now become salespeople, but you really have a responsibility with you. I'm dealing with women that's been trafficked in my house. I got to think about security. I got to think about the bills being paid. I got to fund them, fundraise. Then I'm building real estate. You got to think about licensing, permits. You know, you got to think about loans and debt. You know, it's a lot, but responsibility is what comes with this, and that means more to me than anything. I can show y'all right now. This is always going to be stuff that's next to me. This is my follow-ups from a couple weeks of just going on events and stuff. What's today? Thursday
Yeah.
at 8. We on a call. I was on time for you guys. It's responsibility. It's character. I wish it was cute, and the stage is the only time I get to be cute and fun. Everything else is work.
Yeah, business. Respectfully. And it's crazy because I was gonna phrase the question in a different way because I'm like, to get 100 anything, 100,000, 100 whatever, you gotta work for that. You know, that's grind out all the time. So thank you.
Yeah.
So
just dialing back, you know, I was just sitting here thinking, you know, when I asked you who were you before the trafficking, and you said some things like strong, how much you could bench press, I mean, how much you could lift, and just being a tomboy, tough, like, and you still give that to this day. So I know for the people that's hearing traffic and wondering what's happened, like, what was that turning point like? Because you this strong lady, and I'm pretty sure that people would assume that somebody with that strength wouldn't. It's not gonna happen to them. They gonna fight back. They gonna fight back. It's not gonna happen to Shametria. So what was that turning point in your life that put you in that situation?
So back then, people used to call me Nene. So it happened to Nene. I grew into Shametria. So Nene was me as a girl. But, you know, I would say the turning point was when you go through abandonment and rejection, meaning kind of like I was in and out of different people's houses, foster care, different shelters. I never really was stable. I was always carrying stuff around in a plastic trash bag or a duffel bag. I never, you know, I was always doing different stuff in school. I kept busy because I didn't want to be at home. So anything in school, Texas has great school systems. So, you know, I always wanted to be in school to fed me. Like, I just never wanted to go home. School became my outlet. But at 15, I emancipated myself, listening to my counselor. I was legally grown, getting my own check, working at Sonic Drive-In. And I trusted two females that I felt like were role models. They would always come to Sonic in a nice car. They would give me big tips, ask me, you know, about doing some counterfeit money up at Sonic. And I was like, nah, I'm good on that. I don't really want to get in trouble. Right. So then they was like, I'm just being, you know, transparent. Then they was like, well, money not gonna get her, so let's try to see if family will get her. Because I told them my story. So one thing I know now, I practice something called stoicism, and that's stoic principles. And it's a way of life, and it's a way of living, and it's based off of principle. So in practicing that at 15 years old, I didn't know about stoicism, and I trusted these girls because they were like, you can make a lot of money if you come work for us. And I was like, well, what y'all do? And they was like, we bartend, we waitress, and yeah, I'm like, oh shoot. They was like, yeah, you gotta come and, you know, be there with us. So I started bartending with them, waitressing. It was at private poker tournaments. I met this man named Snake, and that's what we call him, you know, for protection. And, you know, he did stuff to me that I never had done, which was, you know, for me, he was like a God. You know, I thought I was so blessed to have met this person. All I have to do is make sure I give him $2,500 a day. And that's easy because when people think of trafficking, they don't think of big mansions, nice cars, you know, Romeo pimping. It's where you make a woman fall in love with you, particularly a young youth like myself, and you coerce her slowly into, you say if you put a frog into boiling water, it's going to jump out, but if you put it in there and slowly turn up the temperature, it's going to die. Well, that's what they did to us. So I got sucked into the mansions, the cars, the partying, the nightlife, and eventually left school, was doing this full time. And no, I wasn't just beat up and chained up and drugged up every day. That was later down the line. Um, I wasn't stupid. I felt that I was a part of something that was bigger than me. I felt like this was my family. So when you think of trafficking, it's the fraud or to force or coerce somebody into using their body in exchange for valuable goods and services that do not go to that person. It's sex trafficking, labor trafficking, human trafficking, organ trafficking. Anything that's moving something illegally, that's trafficking. So he was allowing a 15-year-old to sleep with men. He was getting the money, but I felt that I was valuable to him because I suffered from, I wanted a dad. I wanted somebody to love me. I wanted family. So, in the midst of that, that is where it all turned. And it was based off of women, me trusting women. And so, that's a little bit of advocating, but also really shedding light on, there's the Black culture calls it pimping and they make it look cool. What woman do you really know in her right mind would let somebody pimp her? But they get that misconstrued with trafficking. And trafficking I didn't have necessarily a choice, because what I was brought into that started off as my choice eventually became power and control. And so now it's not my choice, because you slowly are giving me drugs. You're giving me horse tranquilizers. You're giving me, all these pills. You're giving me a private doctor, private nails. Everything's private. I can't talk to anybody. I don't have a cell phone. I'm locked in my room at night. If I don't make money, I can't come home. If we don't have our care, because it's always two women together, then one person gets beat and the other one has to watch. Like, it was sinister. We saw women die. We saw them take people's kids, passports, visas. We saw them hurt men. So I hope that can kind of give you a glimpse, because most people have no idea when I say human trafficking. They just think of movies that they saw, but if you really want the movie, just listen to my story, because it's nothing like what they put on TV. Because if they did, half of the politics, half of the churches, half of the Indians, the Chinese, like, I never saw a Black man come through my door when I was trafficked. It was $2,500 to be with me. So who can afford that? It ain't people that don't have money. So this is a very powerful political system that is the oldest system in the history of labor, and that's making women have sex for money. That is the oldest labor in the world. And so that's where, that's my spill, but that's,
that was the turning point. That was
the turning point.
I'm glad that you gave us that perspective from it too, because I swear when trafficking comes up, the conversation, it seems like people only take it serious when there's kids or child sex trafficking involved, and they never really think about the men either. So you gave us so many different perspectives, and even bringing up like Diddy and R. Kelly, I think it's very hard for the outside world to believe that some of the things that we heard were going on in those houses or in those circles weren't against their will. But like you said, it can be a slow coercion into having you thinking thing is one way, and then when you peek behind the curtain and you see what it really is, you can't even do anything about it.
Absolutely.
Right? It's too late at that point. So I share so much sympathy with you.
Thank you.
You're an amazing person, and I'm thankful that you were able to share that story with us.
Before I even ask another question, I just got to get the same sentiments that Sel gave. That was touching. I hope that any young person, older person, when we put this out, that watches that and hears that, is inspired by that, because you're saying this with a smile on your face, shoulders up, breathed and pulled through and went through the shit. And I'm sure for you to put that story together, and I'm sure you told it so many times. So
Yeah.
fluently, I can't imagine what it's like having to come through that and smile. Like
Yeah.
that's so much. Like men be fucked up when a woman cheat on us or just small shit, and we be emotionally crushed. So it's like, to just speak on that and say what you said. I just want to applaud you and say thank you so much for coming on here tonight. This is gonna be one of our most powerful episodes. I've never had a conversation with a person that's been through the things you've been through. So I once again just appreciate you. So my next question to you would be,
yes,
I'm gonna go ahead because I do have a question that will piggyback off that, but I'm gonna switch it a little bit and I'm gonna go back into the babies. What is it like trying to balance inspiring the world when the two biggest joys are at home? Like how do you balance your life?
Oh man. So there's a book by Jim Rohn called The Four Seasons.
Okay.
He talks about summer, spring, winter, and fall of your life. Right now, I did a stage last year called the 10X Growth Conference, and it was with Grant Cardone, Tom Brady, Steve Harvey, Rick Ross, all these big names were there,
Right.
and I was there. So
Big name.
big
Another
name.
big name. Right.
So number one, that let me know that was the time was now, because luck is what happens when that preparation meets opportunity. That was my favorite thing I heard Nipsey Hussle say. And so, R.I.P. to Nips. That was one of my biggest thought leaders that I looked up to and that I really listened to their music. I don't even listen to music because it's propaganda and it all has an agenda and frequencies that control your emotional state. But Nips, when he said luck is what happens in preparation, he said opportunity. And that moment happened for me. I knew that it was it. So I let go of everything last year in February. So I sold my house on the lake in Atlanta to be able to fund my dream, because I knew I had to go on the road. I had to have my clothes, my makeup, my videographer, my photographer, my team, my personal assistant. It takes a lot to just show up and be yourself. But before I had any of that, I had myself. So I let myself be able to go and be free. I bought my time by selling my home. And so that beauty of that was I have family around me now that believes in me. So my sister got my daughter, my son got my dad got my baby daddy got my son. And I was a mom before last year, February, full time, working as a police officer and a UPS delivering boxes. I didn't know what was going to happen, but I knew that I was frugal with money. I had a way with credit, and I knew that I was smart and that I would be able to redevelop myself as long as I kept, being authentic to myself, that I could keep getting better, no matter how far I came from or no matter what my story was. I didn't know that God was going to, like, I asked him, God, what's my message? He was like, I just want you to share your testimony. I'm like, I did not work this hard to get away from that, to be able to tell you that. Like, what do you mean? And so he said, write the vision and make it plain. That's, I think, this Habakkuk 2 verses 3, chapter 2 verses 2 verses 3. But it talks about write the plan, write the plan and make it plain. And I think God was telling me to write a vision out. So when basically after that stage, my life changed. I wasn't able to be with my kids as a mom, and it looked like sacrifice. And because I'm going to put back to the 4 seasons, this right now is ghost season for me. And I don't look at my life as every day, this year. I look at my life as if this is a movie and I'm in scene 2. And in scene 2, Shametria can't be a wife because I don't have a husband because of the time commitment. I can't have my kids because they can't be hotel, place, state. And then I can't be, I have to be frugal with my finances because I'm a startup. So when you're a startup, all my money goes into investments. Either I'm buying real estate, stock, or I'm funding my trust or donating to my organization. So what people think is cute, like, yeah, you got you got all the Jada Waiter, Ari Fletcher, they got boyfriends that are rappers, and that ain't what it is for me. I don't have that luxury to have that partner that is putting me on. I got God and I got faith and I got a mindset that is going to be able to get me to be a multi-billionaire. And the energy behind it, it comes from me being knowing that right now, in order to possess something, you have to possess it. I possess my success. I possess that one day I'm gonna have a beautiful husband. He's preparing himself for me right now. I probably never seen him and wouldn't know him if I saw him because my eyes are focused on my vision. And then my kids, I talk to them every day. I let them, I'm more present with them than some parents that are in their kids' life. So I have to be due diligent that I write them into my schedule. Call Avery, call Shotty every day. That's a non-negotiable. But I gotta deal with me. This hotel room is lonely. This is my life. These books, these freaking follow-up calls, to-do lists. This is I'm not staging this was around me.
Grind.
I keep this in front of me. This is my family trust. Because I know what I'm doing this for. Sometimes I hug this. This is my legacy. I protect it. And most people are I'm 32. The responsibility that God has put on me, as a mother, right now, he's testing me. And my kids not having them, that hurts me. But I cannot let that moment of hurt get in the way of of I have to be uncomfortable. But I have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. The shit sucks. I want my children. I want a husband. I want to have sex. I do. This is where I don't know if they came on here to play around and talk like motivation stuff. This ain't what this is. I gave up my life to give God the glory and to help His people because what I made it out of is what qualifies me to help those that are still in it. I don't care about money and all that extra stuff, but it's necessary. So it's a priority, but it don't mean it got my heart. It got my no. I love people. I came on this podcast the same way I went to that event and showed up in Atlanta and did that I don't get paid for that. That's on my dime. But what I do get is I get to leave people with their heart changed. I get to spread awareness. And so my babies, they know that and they respect that. But I gotta deal with the fact that I want them in my life. That's my seeds. But it'll come. So next season I'll be straight. I'll have them probably, and I ain't gonna put a time on last time. It stressed me out. But when they do come, I'm a boy. They ain't gonna ever get to be away from me.
I just heard her do it for the love moment, bud.
What's that?
When she says she do it, she could be getting paid.
Right.
Which she does get paid, but she
Yes.
do it for the love. You know what I mean?
This fucking woman in front of us is not damn amazing, nigga. Like, bruh, I'm over here fucked up. Like, man, like, I'm about to cut this bitch off and go work on something. She's fucking me up. I ain't doing shit.
Wow.
I'm over here comfortable. Like, nigga, get uncomfortable. What the fuck is But no, listen, you are like you are great for real. Like I know you like laughing, so I'm actually very humorous myself.
No, thank you.
I'm trying, because this is such good information. Like the stuff you're saying, I know most 32-year-olds don't even have no family trust or have anything in that mentality. But the life that you've lived up until this point, time ain't to be fucked with. Like, you've had enough time stolen from you and taken from you. So, like, that's why I'm listening to you so in depth, because it's like, damn, like, you a survivor. Like, tonight's episode is like, no bullshit. This is for the love of survival for real. So, next question is up to you.
Yeah. So, I want to keep this. You spoke a lot about God and your connection with God. I want to keep this next question faith-based.
Okay.
For a person that's been through so much stuff, I always say, God make his strongest soldiers by putting them through the toughest things.
Yeah.
So, what moment did you know God didn't leave you hanging? Because you've been through so much stuff. Like, was it a specific moment that was like, God is like, that took you to say God is real? You always had him in your mind? Or like, but what made you, what is it?
It just came to me. Steve Harvey said, out of everything that you've been through, if you look back over your life and you look back over your survival rate, you're 100% you're 100% in the field for surviving because you're here right now. So basically, what that meant to me was that out of everything we've been through, I got 100% survival rate because I'm still here. And there's something called DMT that is released in your body when you are in a near-death experience. It's also a psychedelic drug that some people administer, in psychotherapy and different things like that. But I have had 9 near-death experiences. I have a fake hip, 2 fake knees, lost a kidney, 12 broken ribs, fractured bone, um, a new reconstructed vagina, been cured from all type of stuff. Like, this is real. And I wish that people would be more vulnerable with the things that they've been through. Because I know I don't look like it on the outside, but deep down, I still have been through those traumas, physically. So it's like every time I overcome, I become immortal. I fear nothing. I feel like I got Tupac spirit in me. So I can't leave here with y'all think that I was just a hoe. I just was trafficked. I was gonna be just like my mama. I was poor. My daughter. I don't know who my daughter's father is. That is true, but it don't mean that it defines me. And the fact that I'm okay with that truth mean I'm living in my truth. I ain't selling my soul. And when I do that, it allows other people to do the same, especially pretty girls that look like me. I can have 10 niggas running up and do this wherever I go. I'm always in a hotel room by myself because I used to think that I was promiscuous after I was trafficked, and it made me think that I had now that I got a choice, I could do what I want, but I was still enslaved because I felt that I had to make a choice. A man that finds a woman finds a good thing. So to anybody that's out there right now that feel like you are at a turning point or that God is not going to be there for you, I want you to know if you can hear my voice, you are 100% survival rate. You have nothing has ever overcome you that tried to because you're listening to me right now. Period. Take that energy and run with it because God would never leave you nor forsake you. And if you need a refreshing, go to Romans 12, verse 2. It says, do not conform to the ways of the world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. In order to renew something, it's like you take your license to the DMV and go renew it. Man, take your mind to God and say, God, examine my mind, examine my heart, make sure I'm straight. Love, show me the way. Matter of fact, I've been doing this for too long. I give it to you. Renew me. And all you got to do is trade that in. Give yourself up. Your old you can't go with the new you. And your breaking point is a breakthrough. Man, don't be afraid to break. Okay, you hit bankruptcy. Do chapter 5 or chapter 11. White people do it all the time. To start all over again. It's a tool. Don't let that shit break you. You feel like a female cheated, a dude cheated on you? Bad. Go back to the drawing board. Get yourself together. Get your weight back up. Get your bag back up. Get your mind back healthy. Go do what you got to do. Don't let that stuff break you. Right. You lost your mama. You lost your daddy. You lost your cousin, your brother, your sister. There's no such thing as loss. We are the soul that lives within. That you can think of that person and feel them. They are never going to be without you. And you're never without them. But you got to know that that physical body was borrowed anyways. I am not this body. I'm the soul that lives within. My spirit is eternal. And I don't know nobody that went to heaven or hell and came back to tell me. So I believe that I'm going to come back to here. I believe in reincarnation. That's just my belief. Don't knock me. Don't shame me. But that's my belief, that I believe I've been here before. Ain't no way I'm 32. I came here before and I didn't finish what I had to start. So I started. I can't leave this world until I do what God has asked me to do. I got to raise the consciousness and awareness of the people around me. Otherwise, it ain't worth living. This is my favorite thing to do. Exactly what I'm doing with y'all right here, right now. Because there's not many of us.
No. And listen, once again, another thorough answer and another well said words from you, man, because you said so much that I resonate with. I could sit here and have this be a whole nother conversation. But I just want to say that it's obvious that God never left you because he's speaking through you.
Yes.
It's obvious that you feeling like Tupac. Like, God damn, you feeling like Tupac. You're like, it's so real that it comes out your fucking pores. Like, I'm telling you, I'm lost in your conversation.
I
Like, it's
can't believe I
really
said
good.
Tupac.
You definitely said it. Then you started second saying, I
Hey,
think you literally
hey,
said, I'm resurrect. I thought this motherfucker was about to say
hey.
Machiavelli.
She better chill out before they send her a cease and desist order.
Oh
I'm
yeah, listen.
telling you.
Pac family out here like Marvin Gaye family this week. They on Drake ass pause. But that once again, great answer, Sel, great question. This will be my last. You've been so thorough. You answered like 3 questions that I didn't even ask within our separate questions. So this will be my last one. Then I'll let Sel
Okay.
answer the ones he have
I
left.
got one more.
All right, bet. So you have spoken at many conferences.
Yes.
10 Times Growth, Dress for Success Worldwide Conference, many more. You've already spoke about the one time the woman spoke, and that's when you knew you needed to speak.
Yeah.
Is there another moment or another conference that you was just like blown away by something personally for yourself or something that was said by another person?
Oh yeah, straight up. So Lisa Nichols.
Lisa Nichols, okay. Who
If
was
you
that?
gonna go to anybody out there listening to me right now, you want to get money, you
Hmm.
want to build a team, you want to get on, you gotta go to at least 4 conferences a year. And when I say go, don't go barely getting there. Go VIP. Take your refund check from school, take your income tax check, take your settlement, go VIP to a conference because you're not going for the person that you think you're going for. God in the universe has a way. If you pay to go somewhere to learn and you're around people that pay to go to somewhere to learn, I call that my tribe.
Hmm.
That weed out a lot of other stuff. You think it's just gonna happen, it's not. So go to conferences. Anybody that's listening to me in your field, in your trade. If you don't got the money to go there, start listening to them on YouTube. Start looking like what you put, same way you feed your body. Right now I'm a little more heavy set than I want to be because I've been eating tomahawks. Boy, money been coming pretty good. I've been eating good. So I'm a little thick. You hear me?
Big stakes.
So when it comes to y'all, same way with your mind. But my mind is healthier than my mind is a vegetarian and get the perfect amount of carbs, everything you need every day.
Right.
But it's the same thing when you feed in your mouth is what you feed your mind. So just be conscious of what you put in here. And when it comes to like going to these conferences and stuff, don't just go. Go VIP. Make sure you have your business cards, but don't go to sell nobody. Go there and say, I'm coming to this conference because somebody needed me. And shift the energy. Everybody going there, I hope I have something. Stop.
Cut the shit.
Just stop.
Cut the shits.
Somebody needs you there. Go as a, and everything's a stage. When you go in there, even if you're not speaking, I dress like I am. And sometimes I get to speak. You just never know. I always get in I attract like attracts like, so I always attract people that's like me when I go to these conferences and I pay extra to go VIP. So that's just my caveat.
No,
And
that's
also
fine.
OPS, which is other people's stage. This event right here, this gathering of us three, this is their stage. They're going to edit this video. They're going to put it out. They're going to market it. They're going to put my stuff and share it with their people. And guess what? They get to co-cross promote because I'm going to share everything that they create. It's called the law of reciprocity. So you're going to get these people that are going to be interested in you because they know that you have something that is going to be able to serve what they need. So that's other people's stage. So those are two key things when it comes to what I've learned here. But the one conference that I went to, her name is Lisa Nicholas. She is the only Black woman that has a motivational publicly traded business on Wall Street. The only one. And so it's called Motivating the Masses. And she said, some people, they just do stuff. It's like a puppy that is giving birth. They can have 30 babies at a time because they're so small, just little stuff. But there's some people that have a vision that's so big. It's like an elephant. Now, elephant is different. It takes 2 years to birth one baby. And that baby grows to be the biggest animal in the kingdom. Y'all stop after 3 episodes and ain't nobody liking your stuff. You better keep doing that podcast. Y'all stop after Y'all open your business and ain't got no traffic, ain't nobody buying yet.
Shut down.
It's not the best person, it's the best marketed person, baby. You going up against million and $1 billion budgets. Stop comparing yourself to the people that's out of touch and think about the people in your inner circle that can help you get to where you need to go or where you need to grow.
Facts.
So if you're a singer, your competition is Beyonce. Period. So why are you comparing yourself to there? You gotta start where you at. You gotta stop letting that stuff get to you when they got billions and $1 million budgets and teams and it's just you. No, you gotta start somewhere. So stop comparing yourself to all that extra stuff and get a grip on where you are. I'm 32 as a motivational speaker. I'm a baby. I'm like I'm like Lil Wayne when he first became into Cash Money with the dreads. The block is hot. The block is hot. That's who I am right now. I'm gonna be the Cash Money records. Why continue to speak on stages when I can help other people that are really good at it do it? Book them with my friends that create stages and create my own stages and pay them to come and get a percentage off of that. That's scalable to me.
Talk that talk.
These are just nuggets as a speaker that just make me excited because it's like people don't understand like how did the speaking game about to be just like the music industry because the law of familiarity says anything you have too much of and become familiarized with, you devalue. See, speaking after COVID is taking off, but see everybody doing it the same way. Well, Lil Wayne, as a rapper, didn't do what everybody else did. He collaborated with everybody. That's how he got on. He was on everybody's track. You could not put a song on and not hear him. So I studied his career. Shametria is on everybody's stage. No matter where I'm collaborating, because I don't have to do it all by myself. I might pay to play. You never know, but we're going to cross promote and get this out there. And the age of a rapper, you done by like 30, maybe 25 for a female nowadays. For a motivational speaker, the older you get, the more valuable you are. So I chose something that was aligned with me. I could rap, I could freestyle, I could break down, I could sing, but I chose to speak because I understand the artistry of words. I don't have to entertain people. My words are entertainment in their own self. My brother said his friend asked him, "What your sister do?" And my brother don't even know me like that. I was in town for Christmas. He was like, "Say, man, my sister make words sound beautiful."
That's touching shit. Right.
I never saw myself like that. Now, that's my things. I make words sound beautiful. I'll read it and tell you, but nothing else. I can keep my body covered.
In a world where all I hear is nothing but foul language, crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Like, because I work in a lot of schools. When I'm doing my artwork, I do workshops and a lot of counseling and mentoring. And just some of the language and talking that I hear kids say out in the open now with no regard, man. So to hear that your brother said that you make words sound beautiful, that is amazing in itself. My last question, I know we almost getting close to an hour.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure a lot of our listeners want to know, how did you make it out of captivity? Like, we know that you kept a strong faith in the man. Was it a divine intervention? Was it an angel sent to you that helped you get out? Not everybody makes it out. Some people, like you said, tragically lose their life. Some people have been taken away to never be heard from again. How did Nene make it out to create Shametria, this blessing that's out to the world?
Thank you for asking. So the beauty of it is that the work that I do right now is exactly why I'm free today. Because of not-for-profit organizations, because of churches. Pardon me.
You good?
Because of not-for-profit organizations, because of churches, because of the FBI, because of individuals that went undercover in order to work with these different individuals to be able to break down this trafficking ring. So at 19 years old, I was saved by a guy named Tim. And Tim was working undercover with the FBI. And the thing with us is that we never talked. So you never would catch us because we were afraid. They said that they were the police. They said that they were the FBI. They said that they're the local meat man. They said that they controlled everything. So you can't talk. And if you do, they'll kill you or they'll hurt you or they'll burn you, in places that, you still could work. Or they'll just have, a group of people come and rape you. It just depends how they feeling. So I wanted to die because I saw my friend pass away in front of me. And the guy came and he was wired. He had been working on a walk. He'd been working for a while with the FBI. And he asked me, "Are you okay?" And normally, I don't want to talk. Let's do this. We got to do. Get out of my room. So that day, I'm like, okay, if I tell him the truth, I could die because he probably is a mole and just trying to test me. Or I could tell him the truth and vent and get this off my chest.
Right.
And maybe he really will help me get out of here. Maybe he does care about me because he had been a 3 year plus customer, but I call him a square. So a square is somebody that comes and gets a massage. You don't have to have sex with them, but they thing don't come up. So you just play with it, but he don't penetrate you. So I never touched him down there. I thought he was gay or something. He just liked being, me touching on him. So long story short, he was undercover and he had been working this case for quite some time. So I told him what happened to me. And about 2 weeks later, I don't know if that was the caveat to it, but they did a bust. And everybody on the ground, they don't know who's who. So everybody was in handcuffs. They took us to the station. They asked us questions. And to the women that did answer the questions and that were cooperative, they were pardoned, but the ones that didn't were given prostitution charges. So I was taken to a place called God's Academy. So I was able to go to school and get my GED, and then I was able to go and get my undergrad from Southern and start working on my master's at Southern. And so they helped me find my daughter, Avriana. I was able to get her back, who I had had while I was trafficked, and she came to college with me sophomore year. I couldn't have her freshman year, but sophomore year she came with me. So I became a mom, and then I had a volleyball. I played volleyball, so I had to join. I joined the team. Yep. So it's like, the caveat is that I went from being trafficked to God's Academy, where I had people around me, and then I went to Southern University, where I had people around me, and community, and family, and 3 free meals a day. I got refund checks, and I was able to I had my mentor tell me, buy lots with your refund and your income tax versus the other stuff. All your needs are taken care of, so you need to purchase real estate. She gave me the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, and so I started wholesaling in college.
We here.
Yeah.
Sorry, somebody.
It's all good.
No, it's all good.
You know what I wanted to say? We talked about faith, we talked about God, and you say you ended up in God's Academy. That ain't no more than a shining light, bro.
That is divine divinity.
Yo, I told you the story about the Cardinal. I told you the story about the Cardinal, so I love hearing stories where it's no coincidence that spot was called God's Academy. Like,
oh, I never thought about that.
Yeah.
Now that I say it out loud, yeah, that it was called God's Academy, and it's literally on my diploma, my high school diploma. It's God's Academy, and so he worked with adolescent youth, and he would get kids that played that played basketball year round, and he would train them and help them get into like low level colleges, kind of as an alternative, and then they'd work their way up to a 4-year division school or whatever the case may be from there.
Gotcha. Man, listen, before we even go into rapid fire questions, I'm going on record and saying that was our best who, what, when, where, why ever. Just because you gave inspirational moments, which is a segment that we normally run through. You gave hidden gems, which is a segment that we normally run through. And you did all of that while also being 100% authentic, transparent, and genuine in your story. You said at least 15 words that I gotta go find out what they mean in the dictionary, which I love. Anytime somebody drops gems on me where I'm like, damn, like I gotta go see. Like you even said it in the beginning of your story when you was like, she said this, and I knew that wasn't me. but I knew she was talking to me.
Right.
Like, you know, and that's how I feel talking to you. You motivating the hell out of me with this episode thus far. So I just want to say thank you. But now it's time to have some fun.
Okay.
And our next segment is called Rapid Fire Questions.
All
and we
right.
just go quick at it. We run through them. We don't have to ask too many. I will let Sel kick it off. I'll let him kick off the whole night. I'm taking the ball back, Justin Tucker. I'm going first. So, my first question to you is, if you could have a, well, no, I'm not going to answer, you said you don't really love music like that, so I'll switch it up. If you went on a book tour with two other best-selling authors, who would you go on the tour with?
John C. Maxwell. Ooh.
If you want to go ahead
and Eric Throttle. John C. Maxwell and Eric Throttle.
Say no more.
Yep.
Say no more. So
next, 3 things that you gotta have in your morning routine.
Ooh, move your body. Hey, hey. You have to have gratitude and a smile.
Okay. I love it. More life, more blessings every day.
Yep.
Okay, so my next one. If you could go to any island or destination you wanted and could only take 3 essential items, where are you going and what are the 3 items?
Bali.
I want to go there.
They got beautiful pools.
Yeah, I want to go in that flower bath.
My cell phone.
Essential. One.
I hope you're bringing the charger.
My charger.
We're going to include it. We're going to include that and we ain't going to make you pay. It ain't going to be too bad.
My cell phone and my charger.
That's one.
My cell phone got my credit cards. I got everything on that, so I really don't need any of that.
All right.
Clean underwear.
Thanks. Need that.
And my notepad.
That. Say no more. All right, for sure.
So I know you said you single now, but what was the best date you've been on?
Date life.
The best date. Is it if it's not a best that you could think of because you're single? Because I would assume if it was the best date, you would still be on it. If you can't think of a best date, tell us about your worst date.
She said earlier she's married to the game right now. I get it.
So my worst date was a guy. I met him. Y'all do not do Facebook Marketplace. I mean,
Facebook date night. That's hilarious.
I met this guy and we went on a date. Well, he told me it was a surprise. So he sent me a location. I go there and it's a bridal, like wedding, whatever you call it after the wedding, honeymoon suites.
Reception lifestyle?
It was like we just left the wedding.
Okay, yeah. Gotcha.
So he told me to bring a bathing suit and stuff. So there was like a private pool downstairs and he did not look like his photos. He was short. He had bumps on the back of his neck. I could not overlook it. Then he thought he was going to get some coochie. It wasn't going to work. I tell you, I drove 4 hours to get there and I drove 4 hours to get home.
Oh, Lord.
Absolutely. And I left while he was asleep because he kept trying to touch me.
Oh, my God.
I was about to fuck him up. So, excuse my French. That was my worst date ever. And it was like, I loved it, but I hated it. Cause I mean, what's
love
the saying?
to not love. Love to not love.
I love to not love. I would love that with the right person.
Right.
Not a first date. It was
It was
like
that's different. That's definitely different. It make it sound a little creepy. As soon as you said this, I'm like, yeah. And I've heard people talk about the Facebook dating world, so you know, to each his own, I guess. Okay.
Christian Mingle.
Without saying your babies, name your greatest love outside of your work.
Besides, you said with no kids, right?
Yeah, no kids. No, that's the easy answer.
My greatest love.
Yeah, like the greatest thing you love. It could be a hobby. It could be a skill. Like something you like at. Like it could be fucking classical piano. Like the greatest love outside of what you're doing. Obviously, you love what you're doing. That's the grind, the house selling, everything. I know you love that stuff. But what outside of that gives you pleasure, joy, or fulfillment?
Oh man, thanks for asking that one. The thing that gives me pleasure, joy, and fulfillment outside of work, I would say and my babies and my kids.
Outside of work and your family.
Outside of work and my family, I would have to say, oh, that's work too.
If it's not one of the jobs, you can name it. If that's something that came to your heart, then you just love the grind. And there's nothing wrong with
Honestly, what
that.
I was gonna say was serving God's people. Like that's
I'll
not
take
work,
it.
but
I
like
take that.
anytime I'm like anywhere I go, I just like this lady today on if you look on my well I think I took it off, but she posted a month ago I met a lady in the bathroom and today randomly she posted a photo and was like, y'all, this lady right here don't even know she saved my life. She she saw me in the bathroom and she really motivated me at a time when I was low. I didn't want to be here. She was like, thank you, Shametria. Y'all go follow her. And I'm like, who's this? And I'm like, oh shoot. That's the lady I was talking to in the bathroom.
Right.
So because I have delayed gratification, it'd be like those little nuggets, like those, it's like in little investments, but I'm investing to God's people. And so that's that right there. It's like, it's dividends that get paid out all throughout the year that I never even know about,
Right.
So it's like that's what bring me love and joy.
And it's crazy. I forgot the gentleman's name that you said saved you, but you are him to her.
Tim.
Oh,
Yeah, like literally think about it like that. Like you met that woman in a time where obviously she wasn't in your situation, but whatever she was going through,
she was going through it. Yeah.
And so you are that person to that person. And it's crazy you brought up my favorite rapper and I didn't even acknowledge it when you did it. Wayne always talk about that white cop that saved his life. Like that shit is going on 100 raps. Like that impacted him on a way. That cop being white impacted Wayne in such a way, he will tell you racism don't exist. Because of that one incident. He like, man, I don't know what y'all talking about with this black and white shit. A white man is the reason I'm still breathing.
Right.
What is y'all talking about? And I love that shit because he stand on that and I know what he mean by that. Because everybody gonna go bigger in the structure of racism. I get it. But for me, we live in day to day. And when you live day to day, you realize that anybody can be that person. That be that representation of God or a savior to you that day. Because that can mean that much to you.
Yes.
Moving forward, Sal.
I was listening to you so deep, you almost made me forget my question.
Bro, she did that to me the whole night.
You somebody that loves to travel and you travel for work.
Yes.
Tell us a unique city that you've been to that you would suggest that we check out that not many people would know that it's a good city.
Okay.
I'm selfish with this one, but I will say it because I don't want people going. Nah, playing. Definitely, man. You gotta go to Scottsdale, Arizona. I know, like people hear about it, but it's a level of excellence and money. It's actually voted the #1 place to retire in the world. It's Scottsdale, Arizona, and it's beautiful. The people there are vibrant. It's a money city. It's one of my favorite places to be, but it's not many of us there. So hopefully the people for us that do know, I was always the only black girl or Latina that was, at the parties or doing different stuff because I lived in Scottsdale for a while. We need to build out our communities like that, right? I want to see more Scottsdales, but I also want to see more of us in those type of areas. I don't believe in like black, white, Mexican, but like, I mean, I get it, but like, I believe in God's people and, green is green. So like, when I'm around people with money, it'd be very diverse. It's just people with money. So it's like, the stuff we fighting over is ridiculous, but Scottsdale, Arizona, hands down.
Fire. And it's crazy. I got a homie that lives out in Phoenix. And everybody just be telling me about how dope Arizona is. And I had a few friends that went to Arizona State. Told me how fire the college was. So Arizona is like literally where it's at. I still know about them hot ass days though. God damn.
Yeah, you just travel in the summer. That's it. You just gotta travel in the summer.
Man, how does it look? All right, so how many more questions you got?
Just one.
One? All right, I got two. And I'll ask mine, you ask yours, and then we can shut it down.
All right.
Move on to the next segment. So, as a woman who transformed her own life, if you could be a transformer and turn into something or a person, who or what would it be?
If I could be a transformer and transform into a person
or a thing.
A thing.
Like, it could be a book that you read and you like, listen, this book right here, I would love to do this motherfucking book because this book right here is life.
If I could transform into anything, man, it would honestly be a unicorn.
All right. You are fucking
number one, they're cute. They got big booties.
Check.
They got long, cute hair.
Check.
There's nobody else like them.
Check.
And they're only in beautiful fairy tale stories.
You are the unicorn. It's your story. It might not seem like a fairy tale in one of the chapters, but as you say, it's seasons and chapters. Man, you live in a dream in the sense of just what you're championing and what you've conquered. And, you know, like you say, it's a Bible. You've given so many goddamn gems, man. So, yes, unicorn. Got it. So,
my last question, y'all gonna laugh at me about this, but she brought it up. So don't blame me. What comes with a newly constructed vagina? Like, what is it, customizable? It intrigued my mind. I'm like, I can't let that slip without asking about that, because she slid that in there.
Yo, that's a great question.
Great question.
Great question.
After I was saved from being trafficked, there's a lot of money that goes into our rehabilitation. So one of the things they asked me was tattoo removal. I was like, nah, because I got a big brand on my arm, but all the other women got the same brand. So it may be a woman that needs me, or, you know, something that it solidifies us through our pain.
Gotcha.
But, you know, but then it was like, well, they cleared us up of anything we had. Thank God I didn't have nothing that wasn't curable. And so they asked us, they were like, you know, we understand that you have been through many different things. You know, we found, you know, different semen, blah, 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 blah. So basically they asked me, did I want to do vaginal reconstruction? That's where they take all of your vajayjay stuff and tighten it back up like a new vagina. So now it's tight. So it was very painful when I did decide to have intercourse on my own. And it took years to get that discomfort level down, and I still can't take it too deep. So all I'm saying is, you don't get a new vagina.
No, I didn't even know that was possible.
Man,
that's different.
Listen, the fact that nigga said will come with it like it's the new PlayStation. Listen, that shit right there is the moment of the night. That nigga said, yo, what come with a new like an iPhone 16? Like no charge, no box. So you are amazing, and you are even amazing for being a part of this shit. This is amazing. All right,
that's the best question I ever been asked.
Oh my god, yeah. Listen, leave it up to that nigga. He gonna say something to make you say Always. I'm happy he ain't brought up fucking funerals tonight. Nigga always talk about funerals.
Hey, I had a dead man question, but I left it alone.
Nigga always talk about that. But my last question, this is getting great. My last question. If you could change a law or create one, what would it be?
If I could change a law
or create one,
I would change the law of the airports. So right now, if you have a child and you go to the airports, this is how a lot of women were trafficked, babies were trafficked, and people are taken and not being able to be seen. They just ask the child, what's your name, date of birth, and where are you going? You don't have to provide paperwork, documentation, ID, nothing. They just get to fly. And I think that that's crazy. And that is where so many children are being, you know, trafficked and lost. And it's really sad. But I would definitely change some laws for the airport to where every child has to have a digital or some sort of identification when they travel, and the parent is able to prove that this is their child or that they're the legal custodial people to be able to take that child where they need to go.
Gotcha.
You know what? Y'all might not remember this. When we was young, do y'all remember Identikid?
Absolutely.
I I still have my Identikit ID in here
Oh
somewhere.
I don't know
wow.
where my
I don't
physical
know.
at. I got a
I
picture
don't
of
know
mine.
why they stopped that program, but I believe they
Right.
used to do it in all of the summer camps.
Yep.
Like they made that mandatory for all of the kids. Like once you got it, you had it. But
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
would be important to your point of having IDs.
Very
Yep.
much so. Very
Yeah.
much so. So listen, just like the who, what, when, where, that was an amazing rapid fire questions, man. You did amazing. We hope that we kept you laughing, kept you thinking quick. You answered pretty quickly to every question. So we
Yep.
appreciate you. So being that you literally, we are at an hour and 15 minutes, and you literally have given us everything that we normally would get out of every episode from all the different segments and everything. Is there anything that you would like to speak on that has nothing to do with your business, just literally what's happening in the world? Is this something trending that you would like to speak on quickly? We call this segment Open Minutes. And we just have an opportunity to, talk about anything that we might just want to speak on quickly. It could be something in the news. It could be a conference or something coming. You might just want to talk about anything. It's up to you.
Yeah, so one of my favorite, I'll leave you guys with this. We are enslaved to what we do not consciously perceive. We are only free through conscious perception. Be careful what you put into your mind because it is stored there and we operate off of 100%. Most people say 90% subconscious, 10% conscious. Y'all ain't even got the 10%. Y'all operate like 99% subconscious. Which is stuff that comes, you don't even know why you do what you do. You just mimic it because you're in the matrix. Pull your stuff out of there. Cut that TV off. Cut the radio off. Get yourself into solitude and really get to know thyself and really know that you got a responsibility to this world because we all in it, but we all affect each other. Your smile can be something that changed somebody's life. So your frown could also be the same. Be careful what you put in your mind. Raise that consciousness, raise that awareness, understand that we all have due diligence to be able to be there for each other and family first over everything. So all y'all hoes out there think that shit cute, breaking up families and being with sleeping married, that ain't doing nothing, that ain't helping us. If you are gonna do that, make it polygamous to take care of her kids too. Shit, why you being selfish? You got a man, you might as well.
You bro.
So
That could have been a whole nother convo we could have got into.
Hey.
We gotta say that for part 2.
I just threw the towel at her ass, nigga. Throw the fucking towel at her. Got Zoe barking. Listen, Zoe snapped herself. Zoe snapped. Zoe heard that shit. Zoe like, listen. That was an inspirational moment, like a motherfucker. When we in studio, we normally would have had the camera zoom in on you. We would have asked you to give us an inspirational moment. The moment you said, I'm going to leave y'all with this, I said, oh, she can do it anyway.
Oh, yeah.
That was going to be the next segment, but she did it. We can close
literally, naturally. So listen, you have been amazing. I'm going to let Sel say what we got to say. I'm going to say what I got to say, and then we can wrap this thing up. But man, so, any lasting words?
Now, I was just going to say, Shametria, thank you so much for giving us your time, giving us your words, your story. We appreciate it. I'm pretty sure anybody listening or viewing could definitely appreciate this. Keep being you. Keep spreading your story around the world. Keep doing great things. I hope to collaborate with you in the future, whether it be a workshop, you want to put a mural up in the city with a dope message to victims or to the people around the world, then we can collaborate on that. You ever need an event host, any type of event, Buddy's the man, we here.
Yeah, listen, I was about to say that to you. Like, as soon as he was done, I was like, listen, you want to collab? So the fuck do I?
Right,
I don't know if I'm gonna catch your ass on a one-way in Dallas or some fucking other shit. But listen, I've been in the grind mentality, but it's definitely, more action put behind my thoughts, my feelings, and all the great ideas that I've always had. In this conversation tonight, no discredit to any of the guests that we've had. You've literally sparked me in a lot of different ways. And even through things that any of us are going through on a day-to-day basis, that was amazing. And you've helped. When this goes out, I know this episode is going to go crazy because of how deep you got with so many different conversations. And I want to throw this off out there to you. Next time you around, next time you here, when you know you about to be here, be a guest. Come be a guest host on the podcast in person.
All right.
Like, I think you'd be the perfect. You already got your episode in, so I think you would be perfect for just a whole episode about whatever. Because like your personality, your energy, like your love for the certain things that we love and your love for things that we may not be knowledgeable of. So
Yes.
you jumping off the screen. I'm loving everything about you. I want to thank Sal for telling me about you last night. I was half high, half asleep. He like, yeah, yo, we can make it work. I'm like, he like, just holler at me in the morning, bro. I'm like, all right.
Holler at me in the morning, bro.
Yeah, holler at me in the morning, bro. But when he told me the night before, when I was a little cognizant and up,
yes.
I was like, oh yeah, we gotta make it happen. Like Terrell
yes.
said, we make the studio. Like we gotta do this shit some way, somehow. Then we got this new thing that we're using tonight, and it's gonna, like you said, it's gonna spread us out so much more. And I thank you for tonight, because now I have confidence in this. Like I never knew how this is gonna go. Like the Zoom shit, because I'm an in-person person. Like I like to touch. I like to pause. And I
get it though. I
gotta say that because this nigga, this blood on top is dangerous. This nigga dangerous sometimes. But great episode. This was our first virtual, and it could not have been done with a better person, a better guest, a better woman, a better story, a better mother, a better hustler, a better motherfucker to get to a house, a better speaker at a motivational event, a better Lil Wayne fan. Millie Rock till you stop. And I just want to say thank you, man, from the bottom of our heart. This is great, and I know we're gonna go up because of people like you. Yeah, we're gonna keep working, we're gonna keep on making this fucking thing happen. I ain't got nothing else to say. You wanna be the last, you can say you are so good at what you do. Take us home.
Close us out.
Take us home.
I just wanna say we can all bow our heads, you feel me? It may not be how y'all normally do this, but I just say, God, I want to thank you for bringing us together to be able to honor you tonight. Lord, I ask that you watch over these two brothers as they continue to walk in the journey of the path, and let them know that you will show them the stairway they have to climb, and you will teach them to take one day at a time. God, I proclaim that anything over them shall be broken by the blood of Jesus, because at the end of the day, no matter what happens, God, the anointing on these brothers is something that is deeper than they can even imagine. But for you to give me the ability to be the vessel to be able to bless them tonight, I thank you, God. I'm honored and I'm gracious, and I just know that anything that you put forth in front of them till this day will multiply. So with that being said, I just thank you, God. Let these brothers continue to thrive in all of their life, as well as their wives, their family, their children's children to come. And we say, amen.
Amen. For the love of survival.
For the love.
Yeah.
Episode number 25. We are out of here.
So amazing. Thank you so much, love.
Thank you, guys.
Can't wait to meet you one day.
Peace.
Peace.